Hey, it's AT time. My name is Ron Friedman, and today on Animation Trainers, we're going to continue with part 4 in our series here called My Animation Journey, in which I speak in detail about what made me want to become an animator in the first place and how I got to where I am today. And to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming videos in this series or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and switch the notification bell to all. And check out the links in the description below to our website and to our Patreon page, where you can learn animation live with me online for $2 a week. As I mentioned in the previous video in this series, which you can watch by clicking here in case you missed it, I had managed to talk my way into an unpaid internship at a small animation studio in North Hollywood that was being run by a contingent of former Don Bluth employees by the name of the Hollywood Cartoon Company. The studio was a partnership between executive producer Sue Shakespeare, studio manager Rocky Solitoff, and creative director Skip Jones. Sue Shakespeare had been working as a producer in feature animation for quite some time, and also at a company called Creative Capers Entertainment, with her husband Terry Shakespeare, their partner David Molina, and her assistant Patrice Avery. Rocky Solitoff had held many production and managerial positions with other studios as well, and Skip Jones was responsible for leading the team of animators and acting as the liaison between the artist at the studio and the client. He is the person who taught me first, and most, one could say, since it was through him that I learned the basics of character animation. Linda Miller was also a top animator in the industry and was just an absolutely incredible artist. It literally felt like there was nothing she couldn't draw. Doing in-betweens for her was a masterclass. Skip and Linda were among the artists who followed Don Bluth away from Disney feature animation to start his studio. Comment quiz! What's your favorite Don Bluth animated project? I didn't say movie, because I want to include stuff like Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and the short in Xanadu. Mine would have to be Dragon's Lair, but what is your favorite? I'd love to know in the comments below. Remember, all the cool kids comment. There was also a team of animators that were younger and on the rise. Mark Pudliner had been a lead cleanup artist at Bluth, but had transitioned to rough animation full-time. Wonderful acting from him and a fine draftsman. He had a wonderful way of communicating ideas so that everyone could be on the same page. Mark Coetzee had attended Sheridan College in Ontario, Canada, and had such a fun element to his performances that was really inspiring. He had a real gift with telling a story. John Huber was also a former Bluth animator and had actually paid for me to take an animation class with him in Venice Beach that was being taught by Dan Kenster at his studio there in exchange for pre-Uber rides to and from class. John was also an early adopter of technology and embraced the digital influence on animation and the possibilities that it provided early on. Chad Stewart was a young and extremely talented animator, gifted beyond his years, and his performances had a natural appeal to them that really grabbed you. And Matt Bates was not only an exquisite animator, but to this day is one of the most gifted artists I know at drawing animals and capturing their essence since Mark Davis. The studio had animated a couple of sequences for the Turner Animation feature film Once Upon a Forest. Turner Animation was the feature film division of Hanna-Barbera Studios. The Hollywood Cartoon Company had signed a contract to do about half of the rough animation for their next animated feature film, The Page Master, starring Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd, Whoopi Goldberg, Frank Welker, Leonard Nimoy, and Patrick Stewart. No relation to Chad. I would shoot pencil tests for the animators so that they did not have to take the time out of their production schedule to do that menial and time-consuming task and could continue working. Shooting pencil tests consisted of putting each drawing onto the registration peg bar underneath the camera and shooting a single frame of video. The technology of the time to accomplish that required a half-inch videotape machine and a special device that would allow a single frame to be recorded. Once all the drawings had been shot onto videotape, you could then play it back in normal time and see the animation at full speed. When I did not have pencil tests to shoot, I would be given an animation test by Skip to work on my fundamentals. This might involve animating a walk cycle with one of the book characters in the movie or some other piece of business. I would then take my animation to Skip and have him give me feedback on how to improve my work. Eventually, I got to the point where I was being given in-betweening assignments on other animators' scenes. In-betweening involves creating the drawings that exist between key poses to facilitate the desired timing. The more drawings that exist between two key poses, the slower that action occurs. By having the animators just creating key poses and giving me the in-betweens to do, it allowed them to start animation on the next shot. Eventually, I even got good enough that they gave me a few freelance shots to animate in the movie that were entirely my own. We were having an incredible time, and I was learning so much, and it was worth all the energy and effort I was putting in, burning the candle at both ends. But then, as we were nearing completion after about a year at the studio, we received some news that would change the course of my career. In the next episode, I will talk in more detail about what happened with the Hollywood Cartoon Company and what my next steps were in my animation journey. And so to make sure that you don't miss that video in this series or any of the other videos that we post here on Animation Trainers, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and switch that bell. Or better still, have you checked out our Patreon page? Learn more about our weekly 1-hour live feedback and over-the-shoulder animation fishbowl sessions at patreon.com/animation trainers. Or would you prefer to have a private session with me where we can discuss how to improve your animation skills working with me directly one-on-one? Then please visit our website at animationtrainers.com and schedule a session with me. My name is Ron Friedman, and I hope that we will see you for our next video here at Animation Trainers. In the meantime, keep it moving.